Hi, beautiful people. I am here with a reading from Monday, November 28th, 2016. Ego work is going to be difficult, I think. It's easy to think that the ego is evil or bad and judge it harshly, or judge myself for having an ego or not having it under control. But that doesn't seem very healthy. I've done all this work to learn about self-compassion. Admittedly, I'm not very good at it yet, but it is in my awareness and I'm trying to turn it into a habit. And in association with that, I learned about my different parts and explored some into why they are there and how I interact and relate with them. I wonder if I should try to treat my ego in the same manner. It could be a helpful way to keep it in healthy balance, though my understanding is that the point of meditation is to get rid of the ego. Maybe my understanding isn't complete. I do like the idea of trying to interact with my ego as if it were just one of the many parts of my personality, trying to understand its purpose, giving it understanding and compassion for being out of balance. I also feel like this will help me feel less self-critical, being able to look at it as just a part of me, not me in my entirety. It's worth a try. I know that I need to do something. Wednesday, November 30th, 2016. What was the lesson that I was supposed to learn concerning Josh on my trip to Standing Rock? I feel like there was something about relationships, connection, maybe. The problem is that I blocked out a lot of what happened because he and I blocked out a lot of what happened between he and I because we were arguing pretty much the whole time and I wanted to focus on other things. I think part of it is that I might have been being shown the contrast and comparison between healthy and unhealthy connection. There was so much openness and honesty and genuine caring at camp. Truthfulness in a gentle way, sincerity. I did not see pretenses or puffing up other than from Josh. And maybe myself too. Yes, myself too. Damn it. Before I take this segue, part of me feels like I was being shown what honest connecting should look like, and that maybe I should let go of things that aren't healthy, i.e., Josh, even if he is kind of the only friend I have. But then I wonder if that's just my ego getting in the way and not some divine lesson. Do I just not want to deal with him because, like I've hinted at previously, I know that he is acting as a mirror to me, showing that I contain things within myself that drive me crazy when I see them in others? But our friendship is unhealthy on many other levels too. I know I've spoken before about how we use each other for different reasons, etc. Anyway, I gotta go get ready for work, but maybe I should do some more pondering on this and be aware of when my ego is stepping in, trying to give me answers. And here's a novel idea. Maybe I could pray about it. Saturday, December 3rd, 2016. What is the point? I mean that as a serious line of inquiry, not a proclamation of despair. I really want to know because I find myself in an intense internal battle. I feel myself getting sucked into the matrix, for lack of a better word. The need for the career is strong. I think I need to go back to school and get my master's so that I can get a better job, which will make me even more beholden to the system. I think even if I go the route of trying to get my loans forgiven after 10 years by working for a nonprofit, even if I started that now, I would be 40 by the time that would happen. I wouldn't be able to buy a house until then because I have too much debt. Oh, this is like a train of thought. So, If I go the route of working for a nonprofit to 10 years to get my loans forgiven, I wouldn't be 40. I'd be 40 by the time that would happen, which leads to I wouldn't be able to buy a house until then because I have too much debt, which leads to that's too late to start a family, which leads to on and on and on, which leads to, and if I don't follow the American dream life path, what do I do then? I can't be a nanny for the rest of my life. I don't want to be doing this now, honestly. And does it really matter what I do? Will any of it make me happy? If I go back to school to become a counselor, will I be happy then? No, probably not. I'm still searching for that magical thing, aren't I? That thing that's supposed to come along and make everything better. Damn, that's a hard habit to break. Am I this feeling of insecurity? Am I this feeling of fear? Am I this feeling of ungroundedness? No, those are emotions that I am experiencing through the filter of my mind. No, maybe not even that. Emotions that my mind is experiencing, so twice removed from my actual self. So I just flipped through and was reading a few entries back, and I noticed a pattern. Each time I come across an entry referring to the ego and the true self beyond it, I notice a very strong physical reaction. First, I came across this that I wrote, and I'm quoting myself. If I am to travel a true spiritual path, I'm going to have to start letting my ego go, and that terrifies her. Her job is to build up and maintain the sense of self that is solid, continuous, and separate. Spirituality requires realizing that I am not solid and separate, so my ego is going to fight this. Okay. End quote. My chest tightened, my throat bubbled, and tears welled up in my eyes. And as I read back further, I came across a quote I had written down by Teilhard de Chardin that reads, "We are not human beings having a spiritual experience. We are spiritual beings having a human experience." And even as I'm writing this and letting my mind narrate a meaning, I'm having the same physical reaction again. This time, though, I'm having an easier time recognizing what I am feeling. When pondering that quote, my mind comes up with the idea of this beautiful, not physically, but spiritual being coming here to earth to do beautiful things, but being hindered by this cumbersome meat suit, my mind's words, and fickle, confusing human brain. I feel empathy for the struggle of being trapped inside there, confused and alone, knowing there's something you're supposed to be doing, but not knowing what it is. It's visceral. I feel it in my bones, my soul. Oh my God, I think I just got a message. From my spirit? I don't know. I'm second guessing because I don't want to seem crazy. I stepped over to my window because I kept hearing a noise out there. It was a bunch of birds on my roof, some of them taking off to go land in the pasture in front of my window. Collectively, they all took off and went and landed on the power line in front of my house. As they did, I had the thought, it doesn't matter what you do. Worded just like that. It doesn't matter what you do. I think, and this is a side note that I'm adding right now, I have come to think that that was a message coming through from my higher self, because I was, struggling in my mind with what to do with my life, the career, and I came to believe that this was a message from my higher self saying that it really doesn't matter what you do, that's all just the superficial stuff. Anyway, I'm going to continue reading. I want to take this inquiry further because, frankly, that felt really good, productive. But I think I should probably sit on this for a bit, let it integrate. Thank you, Great Spirit, Universe, for sharing this wisdom with me. It was much needed and is much appreciated. May I have the strength to carry on, the courage to push further, the fortitude to stand under the weight, the wisdom to not forget the lessons, and the compassion to forgive myself when I fall. May I see the shining spiritual being in others and in myself, and have understanding for all of our struggles. May I learn to trust myself and in the universe to show me where I am needed most. May I be of service to the greater good, adding my shining light to all others. May all others find ease on their paths as well. Okay, I'm going to keep going. Sunday, December 4th, 2016. I had a thought last night as I was falling asleep. I had just watched Equals again, and of course, I cried intensely. What is that anyway? I wasn't crying for myself, just the intensity of the love. I don't know. Anyway, a reminder popped into my head as I was lying there falling asleep that I need to remember that all the feelings come together. If I block out any of them, I block out them all. If I want to feel any of them, I have to feel them all. This is something that I need to remember when struggling against negative feelings. By blocking things out or struggling against them, I'm training my brain to not be able to feel, weakening those neurons and pathways that allow me to experience emotion. But this raises another question that I've pondered before, a question that causes me intense trepidation and internal resistance. If my true self goes beyond my thoughts and emotions, if the point of meditation is to find the space between our thoughts and emotions, if enlightenment, the end goal is, I'm having a hard time articulating this. I'm hearing from things that I've learned so far that emotions are an undesirable human trait and that the goal is to pass beyond these human qualities. At least, I think this is the meaning. Emotions are a product of the brain, right? The limbic system, an even more primitive part of the brain than our analytical neocortex. So if emotions are an unenlightened product of our brain, then what about altruistic emotions like love, compassion, empathy? In fact, Buddhism teaches that these emotions are good, right? God, I'm so confused. When pondering this line of thought, my mind conjures up some shining yogi, unfeeling robot automaton, and my mind/heart/being rebels intensely. That's not what I want. That's not right. That can't be why we are here. The greatest beauty I see in this world, more sacred and extraordinary than any mountain, forest, ocean, or view of the night sky, are these human emotions. Love. It's more beautiful than anything in the cosmos, yet this is an emotion, right? I'm so confused as to what this all means, and what part of me is it that is rebelling at this idea? It feels like my soul, my being. Is it actually my ego? Did I create this idea that love is why we are here? Am I threatening my ego's delusion with these questions? This hurts my brain and it hurts my heart. I want to find answers, but I'm scared of finding out that love and compassion and joy are just made up human defenses to a cold, uncaring universe. I couldn't bear it. I realize this is a very human tendency to want to seek out answers. Oh, I'm getting teary. Yeah, I was really confused back then. Because with the meditation literature that I was reading and other stuff that I was reading, I felt that I was being told that that the idea is to get away from emotion, and this was just confusing me and breaking my heart to think that spirituality meant moving away from love and compassion and all these, positive emotions. So it was a very confusing time. Okay, I'm going to keep reading. I realize this is a very human tendency to want to seek out answers that confirm our own worldview. Do I have the courage to seek out the truth? I don't know. I'm terrified. I can think of nothing more frightening, more heartbreaking than finding out there is nothing, no reason, no purpose, no goodness. There's a little break in the writing. I had to take a minute. These are life-altering questions, big, scary questions, emotion-inducing questions. So I had to take a minute. And I was reminded of the experiential nature of the process of spiritual awakening. I wanted to know where I can find answers. The best place to start, I guess, is within, not through analytical thought processes, but through stillness. I sat in stillness and then I prayed for clarity and strength. And I think that's probably the best place for me to start. Okay, I'm going to stop here.